Ahoj, dobrý den. Vítám vás u prvního videa školy aromaterapie a bylinky. Já se jmenuji Anička Krutová a provedu vás rozhovorem s aromaterapeutem mezinárodně uznávaným Jonathanem Benavidem, který žije napůl v Nizozemsku a napůl v Portugalsku. A my jsme s ním začali spolupracovat díky brněnské aromakonferenci a pozvali jsme ho i na workshop. Teď nás čeká další na konci května. A přivezl nám jeho úžasné éterické oleje, které mají úplně specifické vlastnosti a moc nás okouzlily, a proto jsme se rozhodli, že je začneme do České republiky dovážet, a k této příležitosti vám chceme pustit, nechat poslechnout tenhle rozhovor, protože Jonathan má k olejům moc hezký vztah, velmi pečlivě si je vybírá a velmi zajímavě o nich mluví. Pokud budete mít příležitost, tak vás zvu i na jeho workshopy, které právě na toto téma budou na konci května. Můžete se podívat na náš web www.aromaterapieabylinky.cz. Jeden z nich se bude pak konat také v Praze a tam najdete informace na www.aromaterapie.cz. Takže teď Jonathana zvu do vysílání. Hi Jonathan.
Hello, good morning.
So, let me ask you, how do you choose the essential oils for your Essentia Nobilis collection? And how do you choose distilleries?
You want me to tell you a secret?
Yes.
Well, I think that when you are choosing essential oils, that is what I do. You have to look into two elements. You have to look first into the purity of the oils. So that can be checked very easily if you send the oils to a lab to get a gas chromatography, etc. But also, I think it's very important to know who is behind the oils. For me, it's very important because I'm specialized in mental and emotional aromatherapy. So not only the chemical constituents are important, but also the frequency of the oils, how the oils reach the person, how can you establish the differences? Is smelling, meditating on them, really listening to your body, listening to your spirit, because when you smell them, you really feel that something happens to you. So if you learn how to smell in a very mindful way, then you can really see and feel if the oils goes up or down or go just to your head or pass to your, I mean, it's a whole process. So for me, that is very important. And that is the way I used to choose the oils. So even if I have some distillers who produce the same oils every year, not every year I get the oils from them. Because every time I test them, and when you work with the mind, it's something that you cannot grab. So you have to be very, very specific and very vague at the same time. So you're working in a very subtle way, and through olfactotherapy, then what you can get is very, very special memories from the person, but you get that not with like, boom, an aroma in your head, like, wow, what is this? No, but something very subtle, many times we said, when you are in a room and suddenly you smell something, many people said here, oh, an angel just passed. So that angel is for me the essential oil. And that is what we are trying to get from the oils, that you get that reaction, because when you smell something, then something happens to you. And to do that, you need special kinds of oils. So I work for the chemical part, but also for the spiritual part, let's say, and the person who is behind. I work with small distilleries. I think it's very important to support the small businesses because yes, there are companies who has so many that they don't really know what they do have. So I prefer to work with the person itself. And I have been very fortunate to be able to travel a lot. And I still travel a lot. So every time I go here and there, and someone said to me, oh, there is something happening there. If I'm there, I go there and talk to the people, and I look at the oil, and I check the oil, and I get in contact with them. So it's a very nice process. And I think that makes that the oils are quite special.
Yes, I think that everybody can see that you love it.
Oh, I do love it. Yeah, I love that. Yes, it's very important, I think, to put love in what you do. Otherwise, you will be working all the time, and I am not working all the time.
Yes, and I know from you that some oils have special story, like copaiba or your wonderful geránium from Azores. So can you share some concrete one story with us?
Yes. Well, I'm just back from the Azores. I was there for a week for a retreat, an aromatic retreat, and the geránium from there is very, very special. The Azores is a couple of, well, there are nine islands in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and I went there because of the essential oils, not because of the geránium, but because of another oil that's called Edicium gardnerianum that we use for dementia. So they said to me, oh, there is this compound found in this special oil, and this oil comes only from the Azores. So, oh, where is the Azores? The Azores is a Portuguese island in the middle of the ocean. So one time I said, okay, I want to research, because I do a lot of research. So I just took the plane and I went there, and I found these incredible islands. They are so beautiful. And in the group of islands, there are two distillers. In a small island, there is one distiller, two distillers, because they're two brothers. And they have this geránium that is so deep, so rich, so, well, you know it is you have it there. Is I think it's, for me, one of the most beautiful gerániums ever.
Yes.
And I wanted to know about it, and so they said, yes, this, the geránium came to the Azores at the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century, when everybody was taking plants everywhere. That is when the big botanical gardens started in different parts in Europe. So someone took the geránium there, and these two brothers started distilling it maybe almost 10 years ago. They have a little copper still, and they were distilling it, and they were so amazed through the aroma that they start going further and further. And now they have a little distillery. They produce about 6 or 7 different oils, all of excellent quality, and they are full of love and passion, and they tell you, what they do, how they do. They work very ecologically, for instance, these two brothers, because what they do, not with the geránium because it's a plant, but with the trees, they do also, for instance, laurel, or they do cryptomeria oil. And what they do with that is that the big timber companies, they cut the trees for wood, and then they call them, and then they go with a little truck, and they clean the area. So they take all the branches, all the twigs, everything that is over from the cutting, and that is what goes into the distillery machine. So it's very ecological, and I think that you can feel also, and when you're there and you talk with them, they are full of passion about what they do, and their oils are really, really fantastic. We were there now with a group of people. We did a workshop at the distillery. It was fantastic, and the geránium is a very special plant because it's the old geránium that has been put there in a place where there's hardly no pollution, where there is a volcanic soil, There's a lot of, well, the sea, of course, is a little island, so the sea is the whole day there. So it's a geranium that has not only the component of the normal environment, but that volcanic element, you feel it in the oil. That is for me a very grounding first, and then goes up and balanced in your body. That is for me the geranium. Every geranium for me is very balancing, but this one has a particularity to first ground you. And that is exactly what you feel when you are in the Azores. You are very grounded, and then goes up and balance. So that's the geranium.
Okay, let's stay by the trees. And you are speaking about it, how to choose the oils for myself. When I see your collection, Essentia Nobilis, and I see pine mugo, pine sembra, how to choose right pine for me? What should I do?
What should you do? Well, I think you have to listen to your body. It's very, very important. The body is really the only thing that really tells us the truth. Because the mind can tell you many things, and you can develop a lot of problems just listening to your mind and forgetting your body. So the first thing is to listen to your body. If we look at the pines, what do the pines do? The pines open your chest, makes you go do this. So if it's open, then what you do is that you stay straight. If you're straight, you can look to the front. You can start moving your head. So the pines, first of all, open this and put you in a position of see things clear. Now, which pine do I like more? I have a lot of pines because I love them. I love conifers. I love to touch them, to hug them, to feel them. And if you mix all of them and you put it into a bath gel, for instance, and you take showers with that, is fantastic, because it's really so powerful, so cleaning, so pure, So how you choose it? First of all, you have to like it. When you mindfully smell one and I smell another one, and that is what we're going to do in that workshop that we're going to do there. You're gonna smell them in a very different way. So then you will start seeing the subtlety and the changes between them, because it's not only that one is sweet, the other one is more dry, the other one is more rich. No, it's what happens to you. Because, of course, if I'm talking about this area, I'm talking about the lungs. If I'm talking about the lungs, I'm talking about oxygen, about freedom, about constriction, about anxiety. So it's a very, very important area. We also have the heart area there. So a pine need to be comforting, need to give you that sense of it is okay. It is okay. Everything is going to be okay. So smelling is where you are going to know which one is the one for you. You have to remember that we are talking about aromatherapy, aroma, smelling, feeling. So.
From the citrus range, I will choose your wild orange.
Okay.
What is its story? What kind of citrus is it?
Well, I work with 4 different oranges, and the wild orange is what it is. What it is a wild orange. It's from the Caribbean, and it's an orange that is so sour, but also so sour that you cannot eat it. You cannot eat it. It's like you get a very, very incredible sensation, and that is the old oranges. It's one of the, let's say, one of the primary oranges in the world. So that's why I call it wild. It's an orange that just grows in a place in the Dominican Republic, and it is there, and nobody did anything with it because you couldn't. As I said, you cannot eat it. The flowers are beautiful, beautiful flowers. So they don't produce a neroli from this, or neroli. Well, I mean flower oil from this tree, and that would be maybe a fantastic idea to try that. So who knows, one day. But it's an orange that I says is wild, and being wild, I think, is an orange that need to conquer you, because not everybody likes oranges to eat. They like to smell them. It gives you a kind of very nice feeling of joy when you smell the essential oil. But to eat the orange is something different. People don't eat much oranges. They drink it, but they don't eat it. So orange need to conquer you. Need to conquer you in order for you to eat it. And that is what I feel with this one, this kind of power of, I'm gonna do something for you. I'm going to stimulate your senses so that you say, yes, I want this, and you will put it in your mouth. So that is for me the wild orange, very stimulating, very, very, in a very energetic way. So
yes. Something like juice of life.
Yeah.
Let me tell something about your rare absolute, something like jasmine or osmanthus, because they are made with special natural extraction.
Yes, yes.
So why is it different? Can you introduce me?
Well, it is different because the process is different. Normally in the regular perfumery, then absolutes are used, concretes and absolutes, and those ones are nice, but they have something that we don't want to have anymore, and that is very harsh chemicals like hexane, petroleum, and a lot of things that we don't want to have anymore. So normally speaking, in aromatherapy, we don't use absolutes because of that reason, because we're looking into organic, we're looking into wild crafted, very pure, etc., etc. So considering this, we were working for quite some time, and at the end we said, okay, we're going to try a new process. And it's a process that resembles the old enfleurage that were done in India many years ago, where you had, a big kind of box that you made, a big box, and that was full of pig's fat, and they were picking the jasmines one by one, put them on the fat, taking it every day out, putting in, out, so that the fat was completely full of this aroma, and that was then after that washed, and what you get is at the end this absolutely normal one. And they have this petroleum there, they have this hexane, so we had to find something. So now we don't do it in a box, they don't do it in a box, but they do it in a laboratorium. And what they do is that they use fractionated coconut oil. Fractionated means that is the normal coconut oil that everybody knows, but they have extracted something from it, so it does not smell to coconuts anymore. So it's a primary extraction from the coconut, and they use this oil. There they put all the flowers, and they heat it up. So they don't look for the sun like before, but they heat it up. So this coconut oil becomes very fragrant, and then it is warm, and they just throw it into a fridge with a very low temperature, so it gets like frozen, and then they wash it with a natural alcohol. So with natural alcohol, like it's not vodka, but something like a natural alcohol that they use, and the result, what you get is what we call in a way a bio absolute. in the sense that it's bio because it's more biological. It's not just chemical, using chemicals, but more biological elements. And when you smell them, it goes very, very easily into your body. Not a normal absolute. The normal absolute, you smell it and you get like, oh. And that is your natural defense from your nose, telling you, be careful, there's something here that can harm you. And that are the chemicals. But these ones, you smell them and they just go so nicely in. So that is what was discovered some years ago. And they have started doing it with many different oils and many different plants, flowers. And that's how that range started. And I love it. I really, really love it. It's so fantastic. And the effect that you get, I work a lot in palliative care and in terminal care, where we dilute the oils, dilute. So when you what you get at the end is just this angel.
Yeah, that's my next question. Because your approach is very gentle for me and very ecological also. In that way that less is more. So
Yes.
maybe can you tell me something about your homeopathy aromatherapy? How do you deal with the oils, and how can be somebody at home he see it and say, wow, it's expensive, but normal people don't know that they don't need 10 milliliters of rose, for example.
Of course, no. Oh, no. Yes. Yeah. Well, I call it homeopathy because of the dilution, not because it is homeopathic. But I use like the same kind of way of working, let's say. So it's something that you can do at home. It's very easy. It's very, very easy because, as you said, you need little drops. So depending on the odor and the intensity of the odor, because it's not the same if you are working with lemon, who is very light, or if you are working with white rose, that's very heavy. So for the rose, I said, okay, you can put 3 drops, only 3 drops of white rose, for instance, in 10 milliliters of jojoba oil, for instance. That is not an oil, it's a wax, so it will stay very stable for a long time. And you put these 3 drops there, you just mix the bottle. I always mix like this, never like this, because then you produce a circulation round. So it's much gentle also for the synergy inside. And doing that, then I put it into the cover and I keep it there for 3 weeks. With the label, of course, with the date, what it is and the date. And every time I open the cupboard and I see it, I take it again, I mix it and I put it there. After 3 weeks, I open that bottle that I call the mother formula because it's the first one. And from there, I take another 3 drops and I put it into a second bottle of 10 milliliters of jojoba. And then I put the number 2, and then 3 weeks later, another bottle 3. So I have done that up to 5 times. And in my experience, after 3 weeks, and you have to try it, everybody has to try this. After 3 weeks, you open that bottle and wow, that is, I mean, you are really in a garden. You are in a garden full of jasmine or full of roses or osmanthus or carnations or whatever you use, because it's so subtle, so divine in a way. And if you take number 2 and you smell it, you feel it also. It is more light, but at the same time goes more profound. And that is my in my experience of 30 years, is that how less you use, how deeper you go. And if we are working with emotions, if we are working with spirit, if we are working with the mind, we need to just have this angel. So just something that will trigger a memory, will trigger a feeling in us that will make us feel good, that will tell us, you know, you can change your situation today. You can feel also good. That's what you need. So to change, we're always talking about changing behavior, changing patterns, you know, choosing. You always have you can always choose, you know, the half glass full or the half glass empty. It's always a question of choose. And these oils help you to do that. Oh yes, it can be okay today. So something happens in you. And this homeopathic dilution, let's say, will help you to go deeper and deeper. So in palliative care, when people are suffering with a lot of pain, when people cannot have almost anything, you cannot just go with you know, with a very, very heavy smell. People really can start vomiting or they, you know, no. So you need something very subtle, very subtle. And when you present them with like bottle number 3 or bottle number 4, that is just a hint of, they recognize that. And the pain goes down. They get an inner calm, something that they need. So that's why I use them, because how less you use, how deeper you go.
May I ask you which essential oil or absolute is your favorite and why?
Well, many of them are my favorites, but I think it has to do with the time that you are in, I think. And if I could choose at this moment, vanilla, I would say, you know, vanilla, because vanilla is a very sweet. It's very sweet. It's the only oil that really brings you back to the womb of your mother.
Yes.
And this week, at least here in Holland, is Mother's Day on Sunday, and I was thinking of my mother all these couple of days, and thanking her for giving me life, and what have she done for me, and what she do for me, because thanks God she's still there. So so at this moment I will say vanilla. And I was yesterday and today in the morning, I was just smelling vanilla and saying, yes, I need to do something for her this Sunday. So I wanted to use that. So at this moment it's vanilla.
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. I think our time is up.
Okay.
Thank you for wonderful interview. I'm looking forward for you. And
thank you.
See you in Czech Republic. See you in Prague.
Yes,
See you
yes. You know, I like Brno very much, and and Prague, of course, also. And I will be very glad to be back there, and to meet the people and to share what I do and what I can, and if they can use it in their own practices, that will be fantastic.
Okay. So now I don't see you. So maybe it's yes, I see you.
Now,
Okay, we can just say goodbye. Thank you and see you.
Thank you, and I see you very soon, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Bye. Vám všem děkujeme za pozornost. Doufám, že jste pochopili, proč nás Jonathan i jeho oleje tolik okouzlili, a zvu vás, abyste se zúčastnili buď našich květnových workshopů, anebo na podzim aromakonference Brno. Víc informací na www.aromaterapieabylinky.cz. Mějte se hezky.